three-time winner at Talladega in NASCAR's Truck Series, is making his Cup debut in the Advanced Auto Parts 4. Ran second fastest at a 51.19. Now he has been passed by the 37 of Chris Buescher from Prosper, Texas for JTG Doherty Racing in the Degree Chevrolet. Buescher quickest 50.45.
Yeah, don't forget this kid finished 5th at Daytona back in February, so pretty good little restrictor plate racer, and that team got a pretty good car today.
Yeah, and they didn't qualify great in Daytona. I think they're going to be fairly far back when this is all over here today, but I'm looking forward to seeing how that car races like it did in Daytona.
Yep.
Matt DiBenedetto from Grass Valley, California, will make his 7th Talladega start tomorrow. It'll be his 3rd for his current team, Go Fast Racing, the Can-Am Holy Ford.
Mike, I just believe Benedetto's I think he's got a great future ahead of him. I just think there are a lot of people got their eye on this guy. He's very personable, a lot of fun to be around, and obviously a darn good race driver. He's finished 16th in 2 of the last 3 races this season, so gets a lot out of a little.
Now he comes into the tri-oval. At Daytona, the start-finish line would be here, right in the middle of that tri-oval area. But at Talladega, it's way down here toward turn 1, and DiBenedetto 4th quickest at a 51.31. So we're talking about restrictor plate racing. That's what we do at Daytona and Talladega, where the engine horsepower is limited by those plates between the fuel injection and the manifold, or carburetor in the manifold, when Jeff Gordon won 12 of these, Dale Earnhardt 11. Dale Earnhardt Jr., 10 times a victor at Daytona and Talladega in Cup. Dale Jarrett 6. And Brad Keselowski, the leading active driver in wins on restrictor plate tracks at 6. Chris Buescher's teammate A.J. Allmendinger on track to make his 17th Talladega start here tomorrow in the Kroger Click List Chevrolet. So after Jamie McMurray's crash yesterday, a slight adjustment was made in the size of the opening in those restrictor plates. Blair McReynolds.
Yeah, Mike, let's go to our Ford Performance car, and we can show you exactly where that restrictor plate goes. And again, the change was only 1/64th of an inch. You almost cannot even see it with the naked eye. It's such a small change. But where it goes, you talked about it going underneath the carburetor. Now that we have electronic fuel injection, it actually goes below the throttle body, and it restricts air. And there's what we were running, but now they have went to a 55/64th, only a 64th of an inch smaller. And talking to Doug Yates with Roush H Engines, he told me, Larry, believe it or not, that is about a 12 to 15 horsepower reduction. He said a good rule of thumb is for every thousandth of an inch, that equals 1 horsepower. Teams did not even have this restrictor plate back at the engine shops. They had to go to the NASCAR R&D Center and get them, and they worked all night long to be able to send information down to the teams this morning as far as their mapping or their tuning of the engine.
Thanks, Larry. A 64th of an inch, that's about half the thickness of a fingernail.
Yeah, and we kind of felt like yesterday the speeds were up at 204 in practice. And when McMurray had that problem, even though it wasn't anything, it wasn't the car's fault, I don't think it was the speed fault, it was a tire problem, I felt like NASCAR was going to have to make a reaction.
So here's Kyle Larson in the Credit One Bank Chevrolet from Chip Ganassi Racing. This will be the Elk Grove, California driver's 9th start at Talladega. Still looking for his first top 5 finish here and top 10 start, but Larson is fastest of the 12 drivers so far at 50.15.
And we saw some cars yesterday. Of course, that was with the slightly different restrictor plate run in the high 48-second bracket. I believe it's going to be in the low 49s, so still a lot of room to go before we see what it's going to take to win the pole today.
It's pretty good. I think you're probably right. I was thinking of getting the 48s, but it's probably going to be closer, somewhere in the 49s, most likely. 15 horsepower is a lot of horsepower, percentage-wise, when you're only dealing with around 450.
Not a lot you can feel as a driver, but those engines definitely feel.
Oh, yeah, that tack will not near go where it was and get up to where it was yesterday.
As we watch David Reagan in the Bad Boy Mowers Ford from Front Row Motorsports, does your voice have a restrictor plate on it this afternoon?
Just a little. Just a little.
Okay.
It's an allergy season.
Yeah, that's what it is. Nothing to do with that Talladega Boulevard in the infield, is it?
I heard they were having a great time out there last night.
Okay. David Reagan to the top, 49.99. That bumps Timmy Hill out of the top dozen. And David Reagan's Ford is fastest.